just have to turn it on who talking, right? No, I couldn't think so. You just turn it on who talking.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
To the house of Israel, we are the brothers of the Great Millstone Camp, coming to you with another street preaching to wake up the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians who are the true children of the house of Israel. So before we go into the lesson, we first and foremost want to give that honor and glory to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai.
Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Rakakodash.
Double honors to the apostles, prophets, and teachers of Great Millstone, our spiritual fathers who rule well, teach well. Peace and salutations to the sincere Akim and Afwad who follow this truth in all diligence and all sincerity. Now today we come in to do a little marathon street preaching because it's high time our people wake up out of slumber. It's high time they come back to the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. That's right.
This is the book of 2nd Chronicles, chapter 7 and verse 14. It says, "If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray, and seek my face, and turn from their wicked ways, then shall I hear from heaven, and will forgive their sin, and will heal their land."
Now it says, if my people, this wasn't talking about everybody, because through the scriptures, you need to identify who the Lord's people are. Exodus chapter 3 and verse 10 is one such precept that says Israel is the Lord's people. This is why when we started off the introduction, we talked that we come out to wake up our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Indians. They are the true children of the house of Israel. So this message is for you. Some of you probably hearing this for the first time. Some of you probably heard it and never really paid any mind. But you were bought with a price. You are precious to Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai. Now unfortunately, a lot of you, most of you as a matter of fact, will not heed the calling of the prophets. Or you will not take heed to the warning. Because why? All your heavenly indoctrinated into this system. You people try to understand the Bible with a westernized mindset. This is why you tend to label this movement that we're a part of as a movement of bigots, racists, and what have you.
Well, I go deeper than that because it's something that most of the Bible call predestination. And those that were predestined to salvation and those that predestined for destruction. In Romans 11 and verse 7, what then? Israel had not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election had obtained it, and the rest were blinded.
Yeah, so the election will obtain it. So this to show that it's not for all Israel. The Lord have a remnant, you have a chosen, right? A favorite, right? Well, the scripture say, hey, wisdom not going to enter into a malicious soul, right? Wisdom was not manifested unto many. That's why you see a lot of our people will look at us and demonize us, right? They won't be able to understand the scripture. They won't be able to understand the mystery because it wasn't given to them. Right, then why the Testament Paul asked the Lord, say, Lord, why are you breaking it down to we and A? He's speaking to Peter and he's speaking to them in parable. He says for you all to know the mysteries of the kingdom. Yeah. But to them it is not given. Then why you see the Lord have understanding. Right, so the Lord is come for all. Our precept here, our Bashar. Right? Then Jeremiah 6 and verse 16 he says, stand, he said, thus said the Lord, stand ye in the way and see. And ask for the old path, where is the good way, and walk therein, and ye shall find rest for your souls. But they said, we will not walk therein. And they was the mindset that two-thirds of our people in. Right? They want to hear this. They want to hear that the old path. That the scripture says, they did the good way. Seek the Lord while you may be found. Don't take the Lord going to be found where you men out there. The Lord said, he said, the men out there. Basham Yoshai. Right, but John was 8. John was opening.
Honestly as well. This is a work that men to do it. So a lot of our doctors are is that our men are picking up responsibility that they want to. Because I'm hoping to show people say about Shumisha and teach it to your sons and your sons. So that's why a lot of time with older men pass through a lot of the system. Because there are a lot of the problems that we have in our society and our nation.
And then you saw with the school system, right? Because today in this society that child is being carried, your children to get indoctrinated by the so-called white man. So the scriptures talk about it, bring the enemy when one teaches his son. Because the so-called white man don't want you to teach your son the name of Yahweh Basham Yoshai. He don't want to teach you he want you to let you teach your son the ways of Yahweh Basham Yoshai. They want to indoctrinate your children to turn away them from the path. These ideas come from previous.
Tell us about seeking the old path. Before, when you look at the school system, is to remove that. If that was to ever come in your mind, let me ask the elders, what we supposed to do? The school system set up to indoctrinate you, so no longer you're going to seek the old path. You're depending on this system to educate your children. And parents simply got educated under the same system. They have a whole saying, drunk and follow suit. If you can't beat them, join them. A lot of parents have that mindset. Because to stand up against the system and say, yeah, what? I go homeschool my children. I go instill the values of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai in my children. A lot of parents are willing to stand up against the system and do that.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 30, reading down from 20 to 21. It says, and though the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai give you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, yet shall not thy ears like thy teachers shall have be removed into a corner anymore. But thine eyes shall see thy teacher, and thine ears shall hear a word behind thee saying, this is the way, walk ye in it. When you turn to the right hand, and when you turn to the left.
Like the angels that work. The angels that work, the Holy Spirit, you can't do that. Right? The comforter will come and deal with your pioneers and your minds and understand this way. As Yahushua said it in Revelation 3 and 18, that you get an eyes and you may see. You see, because that angel in the midst that will block you from receiving this word. Right? Isaiah 6 and 10. These angels blocking you. You will never come into this path. The scripture saying Hosea. Some fall on good ground. We is the one of our that we enjoy today and we fall on good ground. And some fell on stony ground. Some fell. One that was on stony ground, the son of a hardship is without way. That's some that fall on just on the base. And they had thorns going up that they couldn't go up and they were going up and it choked them. Right? So the thorns was and I know that the cares of this life. So they hear the word and then they endure for a while and then they're going back into the word. But the scripture says we are not of them that draw back into position. Right? But of salvation we have Hashem Yahushai.
You had the seeds that fell on the wayside. Well, the scripture says the birds came and devoured it, as soon as the seeds fall. And this is why a lot of you will hear this truth and there is no real conviction in your heart. Nothing at all to make you say, let me check and see what these men saying, whether it's true or not. A lot of you going to hear it and you're just going to outright walk and stop. And this goes back to you just standing in your lot. Those same wicked spirits that were back then that even were shouting, crucifying, crucifying, a lot of you were those same spirits back then. So all they're hearing the truth now and all they're saying the very same song that all they sung back then. Pretty soon all they're going to be going to all their leaders of government to have the men of the Lord removed, because our presence now has become an annoyance that could no longer be tolerated. Because here it is, they're bringing out accurate prophecies according to the Bible. They're cursing out cities, destruction following, Remember what it say in Revelation? The men God has power to bring fire, even fire down from heaven to stop the rain from falling. And a lot of you going to be blaming these very same men that you see standing here on the highways and byways as the source and the reason behind the judgments of the Lord that you are facing. Watch on all you go see. A lot of you will say, well, I don't have that spirit in me, I can't do that. A lot of you, when all the judgments are hit, all heavy. What all they thought all they wasn't able to do or couldn't do, all they going to realize all they capable of so much more. And all they're going to do it. It's coming pretty soon, it's coming commonplace where bodies are going to be strewn across the street as dung, as the scripture say. Right. And a lot of you going to have that blood on all your hand because most of you are the ones going to carry that out.
Matthew chapter 13, start at verse 3. And he spake many things unto them in parables, saying, Behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them. Some fell upon stony places, where they had not much earth, and forthwith they sprang up, because they had no deepness of earth. And when the sun came up, they were scorched, and because they had not root, they withered away. And some fell among thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. But others fell into good ground, and brought forth fruit, some in 100-fold, some in 60-fold, and 30-fold. And jumping out to verse 47, again the kingdom of heaven is like unto a net that was cast into the sea, and gathered of every kind, which, when it was filled, they drew to shore, and sat down, and gathered the good into vessels, but cast the bad away. So shall it be at the end of the world. The angels shall come forth, and sewer the wicked from among the just, and cast them into the furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
I see that net is this wood, right? We cast our net, we cast wood out, and we got up all kind, right? With the Heavenly Father, we got up all kind, good and bad. What do you do? Cast out the bad. Right where you see men come in, they last a year, some months, and they get cast away. Some sort of come in as the shields and pies, and try to do the most, right? Some sort of say this King David, you understand? That's so.
Forget when some men come in and they run in, the race, real fast, you know, he said, boy, it's fast, spring up real fast, you know. And they going back to the seed as well. They spring up fast, but the roots now wasn't coming in the foundation, the most I have actually right. So yeah, they ensure that when you're growing, it's not the top one was growing, but the roots as well, roots into the foundation, the most I have actually right. And that's the importance of running the seeds.
That prophesy about a wind of fruit. What is that wind? That wind is destruction. Right? Your house is in a parable as well. The rain fall and the wind blew, but he was founded on a rock. Your house was built on a rock. What is him? He's that rock. But some was built on sand. So he didn't have no foundation. So they withered away.
The strength of the tree is the roots, the root system. You know, that's what gives the tree the ability to withstand the winds and the waves. You know, sometimes let me say you see a dam burst and you saw that whole mountain of water coming down. The trees that didn't have strong enough roots are swept away. But after the water set, you're going to realize there are trees that stood tall. They may bend under the pressure, but you ain't see them break. You ain't see them uprooted.
This is the book of Psalms chapter 1. I'll just go to the point at verse 3. It says, and he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper.
As the brother was reading the precept in Matthew 15, right, where he talked about the casting net and the gathering fish, and they went to shore to separate what was good and what was bad. Christians have used many parables and many situations, visions, where, for instance, you know, eat on the rooftop as an excuse to eat unclean meat. How come they don't read the scripture? What was the bad fish that was cast away? What was the bad if everything good to eat? Why they going to separate the catch into what's good and to what's bad? You know? This really proves Christians really don't go into the depth of the scriptures. They always read it verbatim. And based on what they read in the English language, because for those of you who actually understand, the English language is written in misdirection, misconception, spell witchcraft and all of these things. So you would often find one word and you find several words close to that. Which was confusion.
If I may say, remember, you know, about Christianity is set up to filthy for sake. They set up based upon righteousness, but they set up based on prosperity. So hence the reason why you see Trump now come out and say, hey, you churches is trying to pay taxes. Because basically, or is that business or you trying to put no, you see they were set up under the righteousness act. Trump, even Trump with set up as a Euro, he won't come out and say pay tax. He'll leave or you're under the umbrella because Trump is a religious man. But he understands the system and he knows that these churches is not for no righteousness but to filthy people.
It's a business.
It's a business.
And you see, the Lord say, oh, we are paying tithes and all that. Christian will use that to get the pay tithes. Right? This September, the Christian they will use that scripture with the pay tithes and our friends when the Lord was cutting them. Saying they told you're robbing them because you're robbing his people. Right? And that's why the scripture say, why you paying to bread? Isaiah 55. Follow that real quick.
I'd like to tell you, hey,
Isaiah 55 and verse 1, it says, go everyone that thirsteth, and come ye to the waters, he that had no money, come he, buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do we spend money for that which is not bread? Continuing, and your labor for that which satisfied not. Hearken diligently unto me, and eat ye that which is good. And let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear, come unto me, yea, and your soul shall live. I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David.
Hey, selling the word.
Yeah.
Quick plug.
Yeah.
In Matthew chapter 10, and I'll start at verse 8. A matter of fact, I'm going to go to 5. And these 12, Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, and to the way of the city of Samaritans enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And as he go preach, saying, the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Heal the sick, cleanse the leper, raise the dead, cast out devils. Freely ye have received, freely give. Provide neither gold nor silver nor brass in your purses. You understand? So basically, you don't have the faith. Like basically what Yahweh was saying, they have faith. Have faith in the process. And as the scripture say, my servants will eat in the time of the park, in the time of the but these pastors, they set up a business because they have a faith as well. As a matter of fact, they actually set up a prophecy and you're taking.
And he said, go not to the way and he said that time of that position. So we had a remnant of Israel in Samaria, but majority of the Israelites, the head of the northern kingdom, they wasn't already driven out from Samaria and went into America. Right? That's right. And what they did, they put the heathens in there to get one priest to learn the laws because the Lord sent lions and all these things to fuck them up in the land. So the Lord sent that, so what they did, they sent in a priest, learn the ways, so they start patterning the tradition of the Israelites so that the holy hand from fucking them up with the wild beasts.
Hey, and that's why a lot of these Rastafarian, when they talk about the Falasha Jews, Falasha goes back to false. learn some. Sure, you know, it's like brother bring out this, we will bring out the second thing. And you don't send lions amongst them. We don't follow, remember they show the ghost and the darkness. The two lions in Africa at the Savo, where they wanted to build the bridge. And the men them say they never see lions eat like this. They said even not more than every lion.
What's going on in the villages and they
Can, yeah. Pay for a piece of package. Pay for, yes, sir. Yeah. Yep.
these things it's showing that it really happened because on the social media, you're seeing so much people coming up now, and everybody have a doctrine in them. And everybody claiming to be Hebrew Israelite, everybody claiming some different name other than earthquake, but they're not having pure knowledge, they're not having pure understanding.
Like Ezekiel 37 prayer. The scripture say, shall these bones live? And he said, go and prophesy and let them live, but some receive the flesh, right? And they didn't receive no breath. They just get flesh, they just get identity. Yeah, we know we're Israelites. You understand? We know we're Israelites, and I never settled with that. They didn't have the breath. You see, great millstone, so what I have actually is just upon this camp, right? And the elders of the just you give us part of the soul to his heart and will feed us with wisdom and understanding. Right? Great millstone, we have flesh and we have breath. Right? You say, okay, we have mouth which your adversary would be able to gainsay nor resist. We have 100% truth. And so let's say there's no lie of the truth. You see, if you can get a lie in your doctrine, that is it. 99% is not no truth. You have to have 100%. Right? Once you have a lie, that is it. It's done. We don't know yet. You use that. And that way that IUIC, they have lies in the doctrine. You will see them lining up and they'll tell you about the law and the law and the law. And when your fringes, I class one and you up on it, they say, well, shalom. They say, shalom. Where's your fringes? Fringes of what? We're part of it. The law say I have a part of it. Right? That is to for your weapon and all these things. We're weapon. We're Glock 90. I don't know Glock 90.
G90. In Matthew chapter 7 and verse 15, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravaging wolves. Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree shall bring forth evil fruit.
That is it. And which the foundation of this truth is the name of the Heavenly Father and His Son. That is really the foundation. And when we carry them there, I say, well, what's the name of the Lord? Jesus Christ. I said, what the fuck, you know what I'm saying? He said, I want my brother, why? Yes, so right? I said, nah, you can't give me that fucking Jesus thing, man. Don't do me that. Don't do me that Jesus Christ will bring your black ass into slavery. Don't do me that.
Hey, wait on. Jump it down to verse 21. Not everyone that said unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Right.
And if you want to follow and play the example, you follow the example of Yahushua here.
That's right.
So if you're not coming in that name of Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushua, you're doing wickedness.
That's right.
You can't call him a brother and everything. Yeah, he's a wicked bastard.
Not everybody say Yahweh. Because Nate, he could call on Yahweh. Only him. You see them low men, Kirap and all over, scattered, them can't call on Yahweh. They have to say Jesus. Them going out there with that package, make sure and unite them in Jesus Christ. And see that boys there. That is big. Make sure you unite them in that. There you go.
Now, for those of us who follow closely on YouTube, various sections of IUIC, you realize they don't speak the same thing. Because one camp was saying, we don't have the name. And if we have the name, why we calling him by his first name? Call your father by his first name. That's disrespectful. Right? That's the doctrine he pushes not to call on the name. The Bishop Nathaniel and a couple others say that, hey, we're going to get the name in the kingdom. So then how do you marry that with the scriptures where he said the name of the Lord is a strong tower and the righteous run to it and is saved? What is going to be our safety in this time? We are heading speedily into Jacob's trouble. Speedily. And it's not slowing down, it's actually amping up. So what we call it, what name we call it on Most High in Christ bless, we still doing that utter nonsense.
Hey, if it was in time and Shadrach, Meshach and Abednego, idol. Either Ben, either B. He goes to lion, they mash up
Yeah,
already.
he have it food. But that's what the scripture says. The prophecy says he will return to the people a pure language, which is in Hebrew, that they may all call upon the name of the Lord. This is the reason return the pure language, that they can call on the name.
Hey, a Christian woman came up to me with that nonsense and said we speak in English now and the translation in English. Scripture said the Lord changed now. I actually tell me yes, she have a son. I say, where's the name? Say, Joseph. I say, so why didn't name him Jinping Maling? Why didn't name him that? Because I got a Chinese origin. Right? So I think the Lord is a Hebrew. Why would his father Joseph give him a Greek name?
Why? That's what the name coming out.
And the pastor, you know, is Hebrew. So say when you would give your son Jinping Maling, right? Why don't was
God, why get the flavor so coming? I'm glad you bring on that Jake over that them. Because if they say that you can call on any name, one call a Jake one by a different name, that. I want to just call you that because you understand?
Yeah. What's that? Real bacchanal?
I real bacchanal.
You want that to be sick.
Think about it. You're smashing it. You're smashing it. Yeah, baby. They call she Janice. She name is what?
Real fire.
Jane. They call she Janice. Who is she going to stop? Who the fuck is that?
That's all. Cut right in.
That is, remember we in a relationship with the father. She just say we are married and just. Right? I mean, guys, like husband. So now, if we in relationship with the Lord, what we keep calling? Think about it. We are intimacy with the Lord. To know somebody, scripture say no, it's going into a relation to sex. Scripture talk about knowing and he know his wife. Right? I mean sex. So we know the Lord. Right? When I say to know him, we know the Lord. So you can't be calling Jesus, know what I mean? The Lord
God.
will deal with that. Bring out Exodus
23 and have it here.
13, yeah.
Exodus 23 verse 13 and says, and in all things that I have said unto you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth.
You want to hear that? We don't, the Lord want to hear that. He don't want to answer when you call. You see that? You should just say Psalms 91 and verse 14. It says, he shall call upon me and I will answer him.
God.
I will build him in trouble. Jacob trouble coming, but I don't mention that. We to be in that trouble. The scripture says, whosoever call on the name of the Lord
Shall be saved.
I want to put forward after that. A group of us linemen here, and one of the actually falling at home. But among the group of us linemen here, one of us have a rope capable of reaching his love. The guy in the hole, who is he going to call for? He's going to call for the guy who he know had the rope that could reach him. And he's going to call him by name.
God.
Same thing with the Heavenly Father. What name Daniel called on when Nebuchadnezzar is to the degree that, hey, if only don't tell me what a dream I'm going to be, all the wise men want to put to death. But the angel tell Daniel from the time you prayed, the answer was in action. One name he called on, it wasn't more high blessed, but none of those things.
So I'm going to go more.
Except you had a guy come on the live talking about Yalda Bot. That's some Yalda Bot or some freaking weird ass name Yalda Bot. It's the name of the Heavenly Father. So you get them from over here. Well, that's not what yeah. All them kind of weird ass stupid name all they call it. And if there's too much research and your research is trash. When you went and do that research, you gotta remember, scripture says if you seek me, you shall find me when you search for me with all your heart. A lot of you not searching for your Hashem with all your heart, you know. Only just want to have a one-up on the competition. Because right now it's about gathering members and it's about merchandise.
Is it piece of fair?
Yeah.
This is the book. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 30. Because you gotta understand, start up pointing out that this precept package men buy in. Men just come and say, yeah, a little thing, and they're like, oh, I thought he plays. They're like, oh, it's a different name. And they're like, back in the day, Sesame Street, they talk about the elephant. They go on, they tell, well, it wasn't the elephant, but yeah, I talk about the elephant as well. person say, you want to tell you go in the shop and get something, I didn't tell you what to get. But they just say go. You say go. And you go and run it. Come on. You have the scripture say here in Sirach, Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 13, it said, let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear power and keep his commandments. This is the whole duty of man. So how it is when you can just not take all the time, sit and listen, study to show yourself approved.
Like I said, they ain't seeking the Lord. But the scripture said, with all the heart, but the scripture say that in John 15 and 16, he have not chosen, you have chosen, you know, they can reach out to him with all their heart. But it's up to him to manifest. Let's say he's a God that hides himself. Unless he reveals himself there, you will never find him.
Yeah.
Never. That's it.
2 Timothy chapter 3, chapter 4, and verse 3. For the time will come when they will not endure some doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers, having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned unto fables. And those newly ones that keep on spilling up. A matter of fact, prophecy just didn't fulfill, so they had to do the works on the left-hand side. They had to do the works. So we're not really doing our righteous and we make a peace with
On the
on the left-hand side.
When they last counted, they had like over 4,000 denominations the last couple of years ago. But when they make it count now, that number like it tripled. Because every day somebody coming up with a new doctrine, somebody coming up with a new camp, and they're teaching because right now you can get a doctrine on anything you want to believe. If you want to believe a parrot is your God, you can find somebody teaching a parrot is your God. And teaching all the way out to you're finding that right now. Yeah. And a guy praying trucks here, picked up the keys. If you can hear us trucks, please Donald Trump. If you didn't know Hebrew and only might have said it in Hebrew and all. Because some of us just pray, we just pray like this. And he really exactly. Look what they're crying for, safe TikTok, safe TikTok.
I would have praised you of the same TikTok. I scripture say, among the gate.
In Isaiah 26, I was at that verse 12. He said, Lord, thou will ordain peace for us, for thou also hast wrought all our works in us. O Lord, our power, other Lord beside thee had dominion over us, but thee only will we make mention of thy name.
So you're seeing there's only one true people go make mention of that name. Right now you're not seeing that vibration name. You have many names. And you have many reasons why you can call on those many names. You had that UICC, you can call it you play. Imagine that. You can stand up, you actually stand up and say that with no fear, no reverence.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 8 and verse 11. It says, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them evil.
Because you know back then, the covenant and shit, some heads on the ground one time and some big stone on your back. Because the scripture says, any man bring any other God faith to serve, that your hand shall be first upon him.
Man, you never say that.
Your hand had to be first upon him. So whenever I come with you and try to convince you to serve this other God, it's big stone one time. Then you report them one time after the death.
So the scripture is upon that which shall live. Those that observe one time for me and spirits. You understand? Put them to that.
And then the Most High was sure was real nice to us back then too, in the sense that once you mess up, the ground was opening up to you like they coming up to take bite to you. Animal coming and take you one time. One time.
Yeah, judgment.
So for the sentence, right now the Most High ready pulling back his hand to just kill a lot of kill a lot of birds in one stone. And them stones gonna be no nuclear missiles. So right now all of them they're building up. and them messages gonna come all in one. Boom, everybody destroyed. Right. So that's why they're waxing worse and worse with the doing. Because the judgment and the sentence of the judgment are being executed on the simple to be back then.
So now the Most High has piled up this sin. They should just say Babylon sin and reach the heaven.
Remember growing up, your friends would start piling up on the upstairs. You keep doing it, go ahead, you're piling it up. I remember my mother saying that. And after a certain amount of time, you figure out just stop it. But they have always had a day. Mommy draw for that belt, for that whip. And she gave me the finest cutouts we ever get. I really have a father, just piling it up. Don't feel he ain't seeing, don't feel he ain't taking record. Don't feel it. And a lot of people believe that the Heavenly Father he ain't seeing. I hiding behind this wall, he ain't noticing what I have to worry about that. You know, the Bible said this man did this and he suffered this sentence, but I practicing it for years. He go through that, so it had to be right. There are some people when they look at these other camps and the doctrine that they teach, which we know could bring about death. Well, what they doing? Well, the Lord didn't punish me yet, so that means he probably he okay with it. They're not prospering because they believe gain is godliness. That IUIC have that very same mindset because they always call us bums.
Sirach, chapter 5 and verse 1. Set not thy heart upon thy goods, and say not, I have enough for my life. Follow not thy own mind and thy strength, to walk in the ways of thy heart, and say not, who shall control me for my goods? For the Lord our watchman will surely avenge thy crime. Say not, I have sinned, what harm hath happened unto me? For the Lord our watchman is long suffering, he will not renew my let thee go.
Relics, yeah.
Spirit will be in them itself. He's going to be in them itself. And you know how much percent that is?
200 was well.
I need to show the Lord is, when the Lord recompensing you, it is really the exact same thing. It is yes, double time.
That's it.
And I wish you could say
You want a double?
Yes, because how much percent, how much are coming from each job? Two. And you're going to get 200 million.
That's righteous. Yeah, they say righteous. Yeah, they remember the bad soup because they say one day with the both side. Like that one. That one got to do this. So it is a righteous thing with power.
The recompense tribulation to them that trouble thee.
Just recently, someone, I was engaged in a conversation with someone, talking about how everybody is a part of the plan of salvation, and the Jews reject him and say, all right, first and foremost, the understanding is correct. The whole 12 tribes are never called Jews. Jews is just the southern kingdom. 3 of the 12 tribes. You had the bulk of the other tribes not there when Yahushua was on the scene. So how could they reject him if they didn't even know he was there? That's the first thing, right? I said, no, answer me this. You're a father with children and a wife. You come home, you see your house on fire with your wife and your children trapped inside. No escape. And you see your neighbor house on fire with his wife and children trapped inside. Who you go and save first?
Your own?
I have never got an answer for that. Because why would the Heavenly Father Yahweh Hashem Yahushai save heathens above his own children? What father does that?
Which father would?
No father does that. every father would always run to save his children and his house first.
That's why you'll never get the answer, because they're not willing to prove yourself wrong before you.
And then, I just say, the disciples, right? Say, they said they didn't accept him.
Yeah, they claim here, yeah.
Right, but the disciple was Israelites. What nation they was from? The 12 disciples. They were all Israelites. They read this was John, Matthew 10. Matthew 10.
That I just read.
Yeah, you get. After when you going down, he said a list the names and tell them where they was from and all these things. They were Israelites. See, they were not sent, but the lost sheep. And the outside Israel, Papa preached up here. It's John 10 and verse 16. And other sheep I have, which are not of this fold. But I was mentioning the southern kingdom. So he's saying you have other sheep, not just the Jews. Right? Them also I must bring, and they shall hear my voice, and there shall be one fold and one shepherd. And I was talking about the northern kingdom, Ephraim being the head of the northern kingdom, which was in the Americas. And they have, if you go up into history, you Google it, they say they had a man that came from the heaven with a shepherd. And he told them, they call him crack, right? That was the name they had for Yahushua. He was dark skinned. Come down from heaven, he told them. So now, in the time of the, we believe that at the time when he resurrected from the dead, he spent 40 days with his people, and the kingdom and things to come. Now, the time when Thomas said, Thomas didn't believe when he appeared to the disciples. Thomas was there. He said, nah, he says, I see. It take 8 days, take a space of 8 days. So where was Yahushua in that time of 8 days? We believe it was in the Americas, teaching the northern kingdom. So they have history on it that a man from the heaven come and teach them the laws and all these things. You understand? And that's the other sheep that he have, and he's going to bring. So now, when he died on the cross, the scripture says he reconciled both as one, the two sticks being one. So there is no more southern kingdom and northern kingdom, but one nation, which is Israel. Unite in Yahushua. That is nice. Go ahead, Ak.
In 2 Ezra 13 and verse 39, you see, and where art thou sowest that together another peaceable multitude?
Say another peaceable multitude. So when you read from 8 going on now, he tell you the peaceable multitude. He says some was happy, some was sad, some was bound. We gone bound up. These Edomites. And then he jumped down, when he jumped down to 39, another peaceable multitude. And he gonna explain who was that another peaceable multitude.
Right? You see, and where art thou sowest that together another peaceable multitude unto him? He said, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Those are the 10 tribes in the northern kingdom that leave Shalmaneser the fifth and say that we go on, what are you gonna do?
Right? Out of their own land, in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanasar, the king of Assyria, led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so they came into another land. But they took this counsel among the heathen, among themselves, that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwell. Right? And that place, even Christopher Columbus, right, called that place Asarat, America. Did any journal? Records.
But I'm going to bring out that precept. I say, I will make them go there because Solomon had a navy and he used to go for peacocks, gold, and all these precious stones. That's how they know the route to go to America. Go ahead, you can put it out.
This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 10, reading verse 22. It says, so the king had at sea a navy of Tarshish with the navy in Hira. Once in 3 years came the navy of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. Continue, it says, so King Solomon exceeded all the kings of the earth for riches and for wisdom.
So he knows the most of the stuff into Solomon's mind and say, hey, go to that land is flowing with wealth, and you'll get through. So you see, he exceed all the kings of the earth in wealth. He had
a story where they had a nice looking place called El Dorado. Years ago. And where El Dorado was in what is known as the New World. They came on ships looking for a place called El Dorado. So you see, it's not far off from what the Bible says. Right? It's the second verse 13 from verse 43. It says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river. For the Most High then showed signs for them and held still the flood till they were passed over.
So the Most High showed them wonders, held the flood. So it was a rough way to go. Go ahead.
For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half, and the same region is called Asareth.
So it was a year and a half journey. Now, when King Solomon time was 3 years. So it was a year and a half to go, a year and a half to come back. Them just going, they was going and dwell there. They went go and come back. They remain in there. And they go and inhabit that land. When that fucking dog, Mr. Columbus, says he discover, you know that fucking lie. These people were natives in that land. Lost Tribes of Promised Land, page 364. Reading the third paragraph, it says, waving a banner high in the air, the Indian guard soon was greeted by a puff of smoke far beyond the other bank of the river. In response to a signal, the two men waited. Eventually, a canoe appeared bearing 3 men and a woman, all of them Indians, to the place where Francisco and Montesinos were standing at the water's edge. The woman got off and spoke to Francisco in an Indian tongue that Montesinos could not understand. Although he could perceive that he was being identified in the conversation, she then turned to her male companions to explain the situation. Upon hearing her words, they rose, went over to Montesinos, and to his utter astonishment said, Shema, which is Shemai, Yasharallah, Adonai, Elohino, they had recited in Hebrew. So I'm going to read that verbatim. It says Shema, Yisrael, Adonai, Elohino. They had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism. So that's a salutation.
Shemai, Yasharallah, Yahweh, Alahayanawa, Yahweh,
Adonai, Ahud, says, Yahweh Israel, the Lord our power, the Lord is one. And they say Yiddish. It's not ancient Hebrew. But I know mention is in ancient Hebrew.
You know, he's talking about
Yeah, you don't get the original Hebrew.
text.
Right? It says, they had recited in Hebrew the fundamental credo of Judaism. A brief conversation then ensued in their common ancestral tongue, according to Montesinos, whose fluency in it is almost as perplexing to the reader of his narrative as in that of his 3 mysterious new companions. They told him that they were themselves of the tribe of Reuben, and that the tribe of Joseph lived on an island nearby.
Right, so these are the tribes goes carried away into these new lands. They recorded.
It's recorded.
For the Edomites, they have to keep the record of places in books. They want to go for these things that they want to keep the record. Right? Right?
I read in the next page, 65, 365, the first paragraph, but let's go and read it to the highlight. It says, the God of these children of Israel is the true God. They
history.
the lords of all the nations of the earth.
We're going to get back that power.
See? History
Well,
proving
that's
itself.
invaded God
All
and-
those who want
and
to
Reuben.
say
So this
we
scripture
are not
saying,
the people,
Genesis
go
49
back
and
and research, do your
Genesis
history.
49
That is not
Genesis chapter.
God took over, come on.
This is the book of Genesis chapter 49 and verse 19. It says, God, a troop shall overcome him, but he shall overcome at the last.
It says, one nation will come bringing many things to this land, and after we have all been provided for these children of Israel will go forth from where they now are and reign over the whole earth, as they once did. With this final flourish, Montesinos has turned the tale of the lost tribes into a bit of propaganda for the Dutch conquest of Brazil at the same time.
You don't know who we are.
can.
You know we are the children of Israel.
Lost tribes and promised land. The origin of American racism by Ronald Funk.
Fuck.
And they always say to what I said from a Jakes. This is why a lot of Jakes, what they profess to be the truth, they hear somebody saying it and them just regurgitate it. Jakes very good at eating vomit. You know? They don't try to eat any palatable food, they don't try to eat any good food. They just eat what other people vomit out. And they would often scoff and mock against the truth. And this is why you don't see them posting precepts. This is why you don't see them doing anything related to how the scriptures say the Bible is supposed to be understood. So they accuse us of playing Hebrew hopscotch. Why you jumping here? Why you going there? Why you can't just deal with this thing?
Read it context.
Or you mean we reading it as how the scriptures say it ought to be read to get the understanding.
Precept upon
Precept.
Line upon
Online,
line.
yeah.
Line upon line. Yeah, it's
They got next one, you know, they try to hide away the knowledge. Christopher Columbus and the participation of the Jews in Spanish and
Another
Portuguese
history book.
discovery. Now on page
Who
98.
we are yet
Here
again.
we say Ronald's chief argument in supporting of his views in the language of the Indians in Hispaniola, Cuba, Jamaica, and the adjoining islands. He contends that it has many resemblance to Hebrew. He even call it corrupt Hebrew. He asserts that such names as Cuba and Haiti are Hebrew. So here are some of the customs related them because you see similarity, right? To the Israelites, because they are Israel. To the Indians, they often bathe in rivers and streams. They refrain from touching the dead and from tasting blood. He said they had defined fast days. Marriage with sister-in-laws were permitted if they were childless widows. Wives were discarded for new helpmates. They also sacrificed first fruits on high mountains under shady trees. They had temples and carried a holy ark before them in the time of war. They were also like the 10 tribes. They were the 10 tribes. They were also like the 10 tribes. Don't try to figure it out with them bad, but we know. We know too. So good like
This is why when you look at history, we saw how they tried to eradicate the buffalo. Knowing that these people didn't used to eat unclean food. This is why they had that mass. Yeah, they knew that. So it was a way to force them. When you look at history also, they were able to convince some of the tribes to come and sit down and have feast with them, have lunch with them if you will, and they use that opportunity to kill them. If you go into that history, it's about particular people called, oh my goodness, I can't remember the name.
Yeah, after you read the history books showing you who he is, still gonna say that, right?
Start playing like he was
Romans 11 and 7 for
He
you.
started thing and
Not fair.
like he demon possessed and Rami saw it and one guys that they started killing all the native when the native bring them and was peaceable with them. I would have said they were a peaceable nation. When the brother read it in the second it just another peaceable multitude.
Again, like the people, if you research it, you will see that's where the custom and Thanksgiving comes from.
Yeah.
So they brought them to feast because the people, which were Gadites, And while they were feasting, they had
To
their
what
belly
else is
weight, and when they had their belly full, and we know it's called the niggeritis step in, they want to lie them right there, and from there again, celebration and Thanksgiving.
We go to Isaiah 60 and we go to close.
This is the book of Isaiah. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter.
33.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, and verse 1. It says, "Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously
Yeah,
with thee."
they didn't deal treacherously with Esau. Even they show that in the movie Viking. Right? When they discover the new land and find the native them, and Esau see the gold, he needed them and gold earrings and things. What the gold, he actually needed the one with the gold. And we do. He killed the chief son. But he called us savage. What does savage do today? We give a welcome. We do. And what you do? You deal treacherously and the scriptures.
That as well when in Babylon, a lot of them are living on land that was full of oil and gold as well. And they kill them for the oil and gold as well.
Seeing as thou hast not blood, but shalt go see thee. So that's what's going on. Come, it says, "When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee."
Comment there. You go and you touch us with it. It's the best they got it. And you go back and and we know it's a righteous thing when Yahweh Hashem is trying to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Go ahead, Ash.
This is Psalm 55, 20 and 21. He had put forth his hands against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant.
Going back to the peaceable multitude.
Hey, all the tricky so-called white man made with any break everyone.
The electronic dismantled and so they're not reaching right now.
Still doing it. But to you, people, yeah.
Walk down there, though.
We're plugging this only
Walk
quick.
down there.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his hand. His words were softer than oil, yet with a drawn sword.
God.
So what Christopher Columbus said, you can hold back the sword and part over. He confessed that. When he said slay these Gadites and Reubenites, he said hold back the sword for our for the slay.
And if you really want to understand Esau, even though we're not near to him, watching them politicians, you get them learn exactly from Esau. There's come and they have a lot of promises. You know, they have them and that.
Republican and Democrat. They come and give one set promises, and then at the end it's draconian, Mr. Dragon, Draco. Anyway, so with that we give all praises and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rekakodash.
the one as the apostles and the elders of great millstone and well, and Shalom to the elect.
Going to another location.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, 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 Shalom.